Okay, so help me with my question because I'm not sure in English how it's going to turn out. So I'm going to describe the scene, and then there's going to be a question about that. This weekend I was at a Christmas market, and it's a Christmas market for more artists. It's more artistic than usually what we see.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, there was about maybe 10 Christmas markets around.
Wow.
And there was one that was not very far from where we were, and it was so full, people were waiting 2 hours before to get in. And for us, there was so less, this was not a lot of people. And the artisans and the artists that were in this Christmas market, it was beautiful, very original work. It was well selected, and it was a really good market about the selection. And the people there, when they came, there was not a lot of people. They were looking for things that were not that expensive, but were artists. Everything is it's original, it's unique, so it's sure gonna cost a little bit more. And for me, I was selling my little nebulas about $40, and people were buying, but you have, if there's not enough people, it's not, you're not gonna sell a lot. And that's, it's not very good for everybody. But if the other artists, they have more expensive artworks, and they were very disappointed about this event. And it's not that it was not a good event. It was just that there was too much competition in around for the Christmas market. And the guy that was beside me, a beautiful, gentle man that was doing jewelry with threads of gold or was it in silver, and it was beautiful. But his ring was about one ring 140, 200 and something, and it was like that. So he sold not a lot of jewelry, and he told me, "Oh, it's not my crowd. It's not." And he was talking about another place in Montreal where he went, and it was really went very well, but it was a lot of people, and the people that were there, they didn't hesitate to buy because they were aware and they had the money for that. So the question is about, do you ever think about that? It's not my crowd. It's not my clientele. I'm not in my place. Do you ever think about that? And what do you think? What's the further questioning or reasoning after that? Do you understand? So for me, I was a par with what he was saying. I was telling to myself, oh my God, I have to make better selection of events because it takes so much time to install. And I put everything on Square. It was a lot of work, describing things, telling people. Each time it's a lot of work. And then you finish the event and you say to yourself, it's the event that it's, if there were more people, and maybe the clientele was different. If I think about Ottawa, when I went to Art in the Park, I felt like it was my crowd. I felt it was my clientele, and it was flowing. But this weekend, I didn't feel like that. So do you ever think like that? And what do you do about that? Is that a right question?
Yeah, that's right. If you don't mind, I'm going to jump in. The big problem here was the selection of doing something called a Christmas market with fine art. I think it was just completely the wrong, like when you're talking about even, and I don't know if we're losing it in translation here. Maybe it's called something different in French.
Yeah,
but
it's called artisan, salon des artisans.
Yeah.
So it's a
Okay.
salon
Yeah.
artisan art
I
center.
think Christmas and gifts and whatever, that is not the best time for fine art. There are ways to do it where everybody has inexpensive stuff, like a little bit less expensive stuff. But
Yes.
typically, when people think they're going to a Christmas market, they're thinking more craft. It can be fine craft, but more craft items, baked goods.
Yeah,
They're not thinking of a fine art event like the one in Ottawa. You can't even compare it to this because it's not the same thing. If
yeah,
somebody to
but
me, we're going to go
yes,
to
I
a
understand.
Christmas market, I would expect inexpensive gift items. So I just think it was the wrong. Now you did the same one last year, did you?
Yeah, it's a little bit more good. I'm not
Yeah.
sure how to say it in English,
Yeah.
but I thought maybe because it was their first year, so I was
Yeah.
saying as the
Yeah.
year go on, and
Well,
the people that were organizing this was thinking more. We want something different. We want to offer
yeah.
something original, so that it's not the same thing everywhere you
Yeah,
go.
it's just a tough
So
sell.
yeah,
Fine art is a
yeah,
tough
it's true.
sell
It's true.
at Christmas. So it
Yeah.
doesn't mean people don't buy it. It's just a tough sell. So I would be
Yes.
looking at that other market. And if you want to do something, I'd be looking, what was the difference? What were the items? What was the difference? What was the promoting that they had lineups? I'd be
Um,
looking at that.
when I think of the crowd, he said it's not a good crowd. I
But there
think,
was a crowd.
yeah,
So
but the crowd,
yeah,
yeah, there was, yeah, I understand
yeah,
what you mean. But
there was a crowd.
yeah, but I think I understand what he said. There's some certain, and I don't want to be diminishing people
Yeah,
but some places the income are higher
yeah,
and they're willing to pay more
yeah,
for something that is different and original. So
yeah,
if you don't have the money to buy something, but and his rings were not that
yeah,
expensive because
yeah,
the way he does it,
yeah.
it's really different, you know.
Yeah. But if you have
And
money, even, it's not necessarily on your mind. It doesn't equate. Christmas market. It doesn't mean that nobody would buy this stuff. It just doesn't equate to me.
yeah, I understand what you mean. But in
There's a,
here, I
yeah,
think in Quebec, there's a lot of good salon and where people that want to buy something that is completely you can't find it anywhere, and there are people that are looking for that, but you understand what I mean. It's
mhm.
I think it's I understand because he said to me, I went in this market in Montreal, in this area in Montreal, and everything I made a ton of money, and it's the same rings, it's the same
It's a different
product, and
time.
it was like a salon
Yeah.
like a markets for Christmas.
Okay.
So we just say it differently, but
Yeah.
it's everybody
Yeah.
knows it's in the November and December. It's
Gotcha.
so it exists. Those places exist. Like when you go to Toronto, you know that if you go there and the crowd is going to be there, they want to buy because the artists that go at this event, they it costs them so much. So if they go there, they know that's gonna will hope that they're gonna sell. Do you understand?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm thinking about other things being equal, your art, his experience, two different experiences at different places. So you have your high-end artisan Christmas salon. I don't think of
Yes.
it as a market. And those are ones that you see at convention centers. And
Yes.
they're you very often you pay to get in. You
Mm.
and the marketing they have done is enormous. They've spent
Yes.
gazillion dollars marketing that thing. And then you've got the ones in the community center or the
Yes.
church basement. And so there's different expectations too. I know if I went to the one at the convention center, I would be paying for exclusivity maybe, whereas our markets here on our island are, jams and small gift items. And you said it's their second year, so they're competing with a lot of different places
Yeah.
at this time of year, whereas your market in Ottawa is a one time at a different time of year. So I think
Yeah.
Christmas is just such a hard sell to do anything in any way. I don't I haven't done markets for a few years, so I just felt that it wasn't what I could work towards at that time, so I gave it
The
up. But
we're talking about the one of a kind show here without talking about it. So in
Yeah.
Toronto,
yeah,
which is the
yeah,
huge one. And there is a fine art section there. I've never understood why somebody would be, but I got a lot of friends who do it and they do well. But I've noticed, I just look online and some of them did really well and sold some large pieces, but other ones who typically do really well have switched over to prints and like for this
Oh,
show and less expensive items. To me, it was always an anomaly to have
yeah,
that
yes.
fine art section there, but people have always done fine. I think because it's been going on forever, so people expect it, but it's only a little part of the event.
yeah.
It's not, I
Yeah.
don't know that anybody would go if that's all the event was. I don't know if they would. I think they'd think, oh, forget it. I'm going to go somewhere where I can get Christmas presents.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in my is that there was like a abstract concept in my mind. What I was thinking, maybe I think too small. I have to think bigger. Do you understand? I
It's a risk. It's a risk,
yes.
but you can take it.
If I think bigger, there's much more chances that people
Yeah.
are because my what I sell usually
Yeah.
it's expensive.
Yeah.
Depends on
Yeah.
what is your thoughts about what is expensive. But yeah.
Yeah, like it's that Ottawa show was a step, like that's definitely a step up from another type of small
Yes.
show. And then
Yes.
but that's how you do it because it is a big risk to keep jumping up. I don't know what they charge. They used to charge a lot less than other ones, but it's probably still a lot now. But yeah, you slowly make your way or just leap into those big ones,
Yes.
but you have to almost tell yourself, I'm just gonna maybe burn through this money and pretend and use it as a marketing thing and who knows what's going to come from it, but you have to kind of give it a
Yes.
chance if
Yes.
you want to go that direction.
Is it the way you thought when you first did it? You remember the first time you went to the one of the kind?
Yeah, because I used to do that show. No, it's actually was a lot less than I thought because I just assumed there's a billion people there, but I assumed that people were going to be buying stuff left and center. And I did fine, but not what I assumed. And I think it's because I've known about, I used to go to the show in the 80s and legit
Okay.
people in the 80s were just like throwing money at people
Okay.
because they felt like it. So things were different. But yeah, a lot of those shows too, yes, people do well, but a lot of them are places you see a lot of women with strollers and their kids because it's a day out. It's a way
Oh,
to let's just get out of the house and go walk around this show and there's a lot of that goes on. Yes, it costs money to go in, but it's big and it's entertaining. And you still have nothing is a given anymore. You still have to have the right product. You have to have the right thing. Whereas it used to be a lot easier, but it's not anymore. That was
There
a
we
long time
go.
ago.
so
There we
so
go.
what I think is we're all searching for our clients. We're searching for our crowd, and it's not that easy.
No, it's funny. A girl that I know who does, she used to do the one of a kind. She did all the big shows and she used to do the artist project too. And she wasn't doing it last year. And I asked her why. And she said, you know what? They're not my people. She said, they are your people exact, but they're
Uh,
not my people.
yeah, that
You know, and
that
the
was the
only way to
expression.
know is to try it. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Good outcome. Good outcome. Thanks.